Right, that's the YouTube channel. Hopefully people can join me. This is better. All right. Close that channel or the volume. Okay. And I'll just put it in the profile, the YouTube channel. And where is that? Where is that? Cool. Just give a few minutes for people to join us. Twenty weekly moving average. 20 weekly moving average. Okay. Should have the same color. So we look like we've broken the 20 weekly moving average. Where is the 200 moving average? Oh, I'm going to put that in there. 1020 daily moving average on 4 hour. And 10 and 20 on the weekly. There you go. Right. We don't need that anymore. And we don't need this anymore. So where is price now? If you look on the weekly, I got a few things here. This one here, that's based on the weekly candlestick as resistance. And then we've got this candle here, another weekly resistance. Prices hit this price right there now on the weekly resistance on the body of this one here. So this could act like a resistance. Now let's see. That's a 4 hour. Let's get that 8 hour, a bit better. Unbelievable. Can't find that chart now. Ah, okay, circle. Hey, circle. Sorry. One. So let's have a look at this. Get rid of some of the fib circles. Where are they? Oh, there's a fib circle. Okay. So let's begin. A few people joined. What do we have at the moment? On my chart, you can see there's a, and if you look at the previous video streams, I had this inverted bar. Let me just go to my drawing tool. So we had this line here along, which is the inverted bar. Touches there. So this is a strategy, and we had a decisive break on the daily. And now we're approaching the weekly resistance level here. This resistance level, we have two factors here. If we look at the weekly, we have a weekly wick and a weekly body of the candle, and currently that's where the price is marked, as along with this fib level here. So if I was to clear that up and look at another chart, was to go here along this right chart, you can see pretty much that from the body of the candle down here, we have this line. This body of the candle, we have this resistance line, and you can see how that is associated with this level now. Now, having said that, we have this moving average coming down, which is, I think on this case, the 20 moving average. Give me a sec. On the weekly. Yeah, so that's the 20 weekly moving average. And we've broken that actually. So that's pretty good. So if we break this, so we've broken the weekly 20 moving average, which is significant. And now we've approached this weekly resistance level on the body. If we break the last one, which is the 200 moving average, which is this blue one here. So this blue one, sorry, the green one. This green one is the 200 daily moving average. This blue one here is the 20 weekly moving average. At the moment, they're acting as resistance. If we were to break that, it's confirmation in my mind that the bull market has started. So what do we see from this perspective? A decisive break above it, above this area here. So right now they're coming together. And if we break above this, so if this was to come around here, so we're very close, and it can always wick back. It can always come back down. And if it was to come down, I see this broadening channel line, which has many confluence as support, will be our entry point right there. So if this was to pull back, that'll be a perfect spot to enter to go up. So that's my thinking, if this was to act as resistance. Now, if we come to this level, the weekly resistance band, which is more, so the question is, what scenario is likely to play? We don't know. So we've got to watch it. So if we get a rejection there, this is the entry point. If we get a rejection here, again, this could be the entry point. Okay, so that value there is about 46 and a half. So this band, this area here, is very strong resistance, purely from a Fibonacci perspective as well. So let's clear that, and I'll show you why it's important. So we've got the Fibonacci, local Fibonacci done. So if I change that color to, I don't know, green, you can see that. So the fib level is the 0.5. So the weekly resistance, or this white band here, is the weekly resistance. Now if I was to do Bitcoin here, BTC, USDT, you would see from a weekly perspective, I'm going to go weekly here. There you go. So that band, you can see why that's going to be a strong resistance level. Much more easier than a daily one. So this area, we're at this point right there, based on this candlestick. So on the way up, it became support, and it could potentially be resistance here. However, I think this is more relevant right here. I think that's more relevant because this was on the way up. This is more relevant on the way down. On the way down, this wick was support, bounced up, found resistance. So now this is established as resistance in my mind. So this was confluent with the 0.5 Fibonacci. So the 0.5 is going to be very important. It's also along with the weekly resistance. So this, I think this is going to come up to this level. And then we're going to get a rejection of some sort. The question is, what's the magnitude? It might be enough to come down here, like I said, right there. So if I clear that up with those lines, so if we were to hit this level here, and this comes back down to the 0.3, you can see on the left where that is. It's actually along this top trend line of this broadening wedge. So that, and to me, and also another Fibonacci level of some from the macro perspective. So this is a perfect spot to jump back in. If we get this 0.5 to be pulled back, and there's a lot of reasons why I should pull back, because I mean, look at that strong move. So the thing is, this could continue out. This could easily pass this. Maybe not straight away, but not much struggle either. And the real target is a 0.6 in my mind. This is where we're going to, if it gets there, definitely major resistance. So I'm looking to sell here. The 0.68, 0.618 is easily a selling spot. The golden ratio is easily determined to be a selling spot, and that's where the strategy comes in. What happens from that point onwards, I can talk about that a bit later. So my goal is to sell a big portion of my crypto here, because that will definitely push back price. Where to? It could be that way, bounce there. So we're going to look at the macro, and then I'm going to justify why the macro is important if you're interested. If not, please tell me online if there's anything specific you want me to talk about, because I'm just going with the current scenario, and if you need convincing, I'm giving you the reasons for it, and I'm also covering my strategy. So if you have any questions about it, or anything that you want to cover, let me know. So from this perspective, I do think, where's the price right now? 46. Hold on, give me a sec. Maybe you guys can't see this either, so it's a bit too. So I'll increase the size of the browser so you can see a bit more closer. No, I didn't want the left side. Okay, here we go. Zoom in. Okay. All right, so looking at the smaller picture, I don't see this going straight up, but you know, anything's possible. Looking at this perspective, this is, we're going to look at from one level, second level, third level, fourth level, right? So in the small time period, I see this acting as resistance, but this is the major one here, okay? So the 0.618 is likely to be the rejection spot, and then down. Maybe here, maybe there. And what that does is it sets up potentially of some sort of a macro. It could maybe be at that level where sort of, so if we break this and we go to the next level, then I'll see a different formation taking place. So we've got to really be careful. I'm going to sell a portion, and if it gets there, obviously I'll sell a lot, and then price comes. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking in the terms of let's see. I'm thinking this type of thing. That's the top, and we had a rejection. We've come down to a support. We're either going to get a rejection and do something like that, a big triangle to have a attempt at the top, or we're going to have a big type of squeeze to the next level, if that makes sense. Well, what pictures can we use to describe that? Give me a sec. I have one, and I'm going to give you the macro picture. I've got a few of them. This is a good one. Let's look at this. Something like that. So in the short term, we can have this possible move where we break above and then we come back down. That's one possible scenario where the trend line becomes so the 200 moving average could be a point of rejection, or these trend lines becoming significant. So that's one possibility. Give me a sec. Where's my macro picture? Okay. So let's look at this. Historically, what have we seen? Actually, I'll get rid of this diagram for the time being, and I'll make this black. You can see this chart of mine is all golden ratios all the way up, and you can see from this perspective the 316 was a golden ratio for this resistance here. If I was to change this around and take put the log on, it becomes the 1.618 as a resistance. If I do it perfectly, it will be there, including the wick. Actually, I didn't do that right, just there. And ever slightly, and it's perfect there, right? So the 1.618 is the golden ratio. You can see, and I've discussed this many times in the past, milestones. These are all milestones in terms of resistance and support. And if I was to look at the history of previous stuff, like if I was to look from here to there, you can see even here, let's change that a bit. I'll just do the default and reverse this. I'll make it simple. You can see how, got the wrong one. You can see how the, reverse that, the golden ratio, come on, I'll get there. So let's see if you can see it. Everything has to do with the golden ratio, 618. So even when we came down from there, I'm going to show you a few things. From the top to swing high to swing low, we had the golden ratio as resistance. And then similarly from the swing high to swing low, we had the 618. And I just got rid of that for some reason. Reverse that. You can see, just do that, give me a sec. You can see this golden ratio 1.618 as resistance as well. And therefore, using the same method, swing low to swing high to swing low, we can potentially look at this area as 1 to 0.618 as the potential final destination. Just using, so here's a 0.618, so that was given. So 1 to 1.618 is the target in my mind for this market, for this cycle anyway. So just using fib levels, okay? So if I was to move this across, where is it here? I'll move this across just to make sure it gets away. If I was to extend this to 2.618, just gone way too high, is it? So it's right up to 2 there. Okay. If I was to apply the other template, you can see all these 618s have confluence. 4.618 to 7.618 or 618 based on this golden ratio standard. All 618s all have key inputs based on the way I set it up. So using the, because this is all price discovery, right? So price discovery, the only way you're going to do that is either trend lines or golden ratios. So if we were to now enable this, what do you call it? Regressive channel. There's many of them out there. We don't know which one to use. Then this could have, in a way. So if this was our line, let me do something better. A straight line might be able to help. So we have this as a one level. You can see that could potentially, depending on the steepness, the speed that this goes. The other one is obviously this top, and it could potentially, we need a curve, right? So we can't really do it well. So if this was to be not the case, and this the top area where this is, I think this is more applicable like this, just doing a straight line. Okay, so this straight line might be the maximum in the coming years. So if this wasn't the target for the short term, but this is what I'm thinking, like that, along those lines. So this bull market So why am I thinking this is the immediate, the major target for the short term? Once we break this all-time high, it's because of the Elliott wave. Okay, so if you're familiar with the Elliott wave, that's our 1, 2, 3. This is looking like 4 and 5. All right, so it's unlikely to have 5 so big. That's a wave 3, so we can't have that. It doesn't fit right. Wave 2 to 3 is the largest move. Okay, wave 3 to 4 is the most complex, and we had a complex move, and you can see from here that we are approaching these 2.414 and 2.618 as resistance, and you can see that align perfectly with the weekly candles. So the weekly, so this is where I think where is that? What's that value there? 46,500 makes sense as the major resistance, based on. But I think to 49,000, 46 to 49,000 is going to be a resistance range, and then we're going to get a pullback. I wish I had that chart. I might have had it. Just give me a sec, and I'm going to look for it. Someone out there did it. What I just told you is in some ways represented by this. Give me a sec. This is a good example. Okay, so if you look at this, they've done the same. They've done the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So this is wave 2 to 3. That's wave 4. And and they're going to use this parabolic. I haven't actually looked at the update for this, so I could do that. And then it's going to go parabolic, similar to this section here. So we're roughly there in this picture, and we're going to have this parabolic acceleration and a blow off top. And that's going to be the interesting part. So this chart sort of explains it a bit. There's this other one. I'm going to try to find it. I thought I had it. Do I need to talk about why I'm bullish, or everyone's sort of on board that? So let's have a look. Stay with me, guys. I might have published on my channel, and I'm just going to get the other scenario. Scrolling through. Bear with me, guys. I didn't realize I put so much postings in our channel. Okay. So this regression, high regression, I think I should look at that as well. Give me a sec. Where is that? Okay. Looks like I can't find it. Okay. Oh, here we go. So this is one of the mentors I follow. He also says this. So that's his theory. as well. So we have this macro formation, and so this could be slightly above the, what's this, the weekly candle there, slightly spike up and come back down to a level of support. And if that was the case, that was a perfect spot to buy. But you can see he demonstrates that that's where you sell. On the weekly, you can see the curvature, like previous bottoms on this indicator. So I can go through that if people need to know. But this pretty much shows you a good reason why this is the bottom oversold. And currently what we're seeing is a move to the upside, and we're going to find resistance. And I think that resistance is the 0.618. And that was based on, so if I was to put that from this bottom to this top, now let's see if I change that. No, that doesn't do that. So that could be, depending on the log standard, you can see how things change. Now I'm putting on the log, not the log, so this could be an area. So there's two methods of measuring this. Yeah. So that, if I do that there, and I just flick this again to the log, and the 618 drops down to here. So that is my range that I'm thinking is likely to be resistance. I don't know what that is there. Okay, so price currently is finding resistance on the, we've broken the 20 and the 200 most likely based on this. So if this is coming like that, so we've broken it. Now we've hit this band here. I think it might come back a little bit and then continue on. And this is where we're going to find a lot of resistance and potentially come down. So now the question is, that will be one area of interest because of the weekly. That was a major weekly resistance. We might come down, or we come back down a bit further. It's one of those. But yeah, so here's the target, this range here for me. So I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. So I talked about the big picture, reasons why this fits into this scenario. Where is it? So if you look at his picture, he's got the 1 at 89,000 and the 1.618. So if that's mine's different. And so that's the fifth target, and I've pretty much explained why the Elliott wave fifth target could be anywhere here. Actually, this is right there. So let me do that. Just clean it up a bit. Too much. So back to the fib extension, right? So I'll swing. So the other extension, it is possible. Hold on, let me move that around. Is the bottom here. So if we use this bottom here, fib extension, it slightly pushes things up. Okay, so I used that one initially from, so this fib extension, I use that from there to there to there to get this box. The other one is slightly lower. So from there to there to there to get this other box, which I'm about to do. So let's see what that gives us. So let me grab this one here at the moment and get rid of this magnet. so this one here, just to be perfect, right? I'll just put that away for a sec. I'll get this, put that away. Got a few of those on it. I like a clean chart. And let's get that other fib extension from this bottom to this top and to this bottom. And that increases about a few thousand different direction. So I'll get that box. So that one's slightly higher than the other. It's not much, but those are two ways of measuring the fib extension, because it's a macro array. We can use this in between. That works as well. And there's not much difference, but there can be. So this one's 91,000, the other one's 87,000. So those are the two areas where I'll be looking for Elliott wave. And if you're not sure about the Elliott wave, there's plenty of reading material. I've actually done something on my website. Oh, hold on, I looked at the wrong one, didn't I? So the question is, what kind of Elliott wave are we going to look at, right? So if you look at any of these pictures, that explains what we're looking at. So we've done from wave 3 to 4, now 4 to 5. Okay, so this is what we had. We had this ABC correction. Yep. So this model is currently working. I've got a few examples in the past. Now, this is what I was explaining, what we're doing. So we've got 1, 2, and then we've got this. We can actually do from 0 to 1 point, from 0, where the bot 4 is, and put 1 at 3, and it still gives you something similar. So let's do that as well. See if that gives us a different value. So what you do, you get from there and make that top as 1. And I've got my log on, so I'll turn that log on. And the 1.618 is around right in the middle there. So here is a 1.618 value, which is 106,000. So that's why the people are talking about 100,000 as well. So I'll put that in there as well. So it's right in the middle, bang, middle of those two. So there's, you can see what I've done, 3 methods. How are you going to know which one it is? No idea, but it's close enough. So it'll be, I think it's going to be something similar to this, or it's going to be something similar to that. Right now, what we're seeing here, let's talk about that. If you look at from the top to the bottom, let me just change this a bit, make it basic. Here's the lessons as well. When price, if it was a bear market, don't talk about the bear market, we're just talking about the bounce. So here, you can see when price came down, and I'm going to explain why I'm interested in the 618 sell-off. When price came from top to down, you can see the 618, even so slightly a wick, was the bounce, the 618, and then it went down. We don't expect it to go down, but see how it goes down to the 0.236 right there, and then it has a bit of a bounce up, and then further down. So the 0.618 on the macro top, pull down, and then there's a 618 bounce. So that's why if it's a 0.5, then it's bearish. So if that was one example, and if we look at this one here, if I go into the daily, should be able to do it. So here you can see, very similar. We go to the top. Actually, I've got to do this from here. So the bounce, that's not a good example there. It's the second one that's probably a good example. Use that there. And I need to zoom in, don't I? So let's see here. Right there, that was the drop from the top. And in this case, what was I going to reverse that? Very similar. So from the top to the bottom, and then you can see the 618 was another rejection right there before we went further down. So each impulse, the 618 is in the past a strong resistance as a golden ratio. So that works a lot. I tried to do something different with our one, and that didn't, it works and it doesn't work. So if I was to go to the 4 hour, and I want to show you something else. What we had in the past, and it works. So I'm looking for the top. So if this is top of a blow off top, be mindful that, let me just get rid of that extension. See that blow off top? You get that, and when it bounces to next, actually let's do that again. Wrong one. From there to there, there to there. Okay. So what we had is a real deep pullback from top, swing low, swing high to swing low, and then we just had this AB equals CD, basically. That equals that. So we didn't have that scenario with this one here. So that was another reason why I didn't think. So there was a lot of reasons why I didn't think that was a blow off top. Let's go here. That's why I didn't think this was a blow off top. Number one, it didn't have that spike like a parabolic blow off top like here. And even here, if we look at 2017, give me a sec. It's a phenomenal. So I want you to pick this up on the day when that day comes. I think this is, yeah, that one there. Almost, not the same. It's actually much more of a drop. Now let me see if I was to go closer, if there was a better example there. In this case, that was the case. So can we learn anything from this? Yes. If it's a blow off top with like a mag on this type, you can go swing high, swing low, and you can see it's a one. So the from there to there, actually, so this is the one that was counted, this level here. So it did work. From there to there, 0.618 bounce, rejection, and it got to this one here, and then obviously another bounce and down. So it did come into play, just not. And so this one was a 618 extension from that top to down. So those are the things where a blow off top gives you some way of treating it. So if that day comes of the blow up top, you're going to understand that that's in play. We had it here, very similar. That's why I thought this might be a blow off top, because this was very, very close. AB, pretty much the same, almost the same. So I was wondering if this was a blow off top at the time. So hopefully that explains a bit. All right, we've covered that. And what's Bitcoin doing right now? That's a 200 moving average on the daily, right there. And that's a 20. That's the 20. Let's make it a 21. So the 21 weekly moving average is significant. So that is also playing. So 200 daily and the 21 is acting as a resistance at the moment. And we did wick up. And if you look at close on this 4 hour, let's have a look. So bearish divergence on the 4 hour. So that's what we're seeing now, bearish divergence. If I was to look at another chart, I'll be looking. So this is the 8 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour. So you can see how I got the wave trend pretty much peaked at the 4 hour. So this red band is overextension. We're having it's not clear yet that we're getting exhausted, but that looks like we are close to the target. And I think that what I said here was actually maybe impacting the bearishness at this point. And do I have other indicators on this one? All right, let's look at this indicator. It's all good at the moment. So this is the daily. So see how this is already peaked. Very, very flat. So that is a bit of a bearish divergence there as well. From this top gray to this gray. If that turns, that is because we've got price going up. Let's see. Got a lot of drawings there. And where are we? So we can get rid of that. And we can get the moving averages away just to hide it for a sec. And we can see, so that is the 4, now that's a daily. So this is a daily chart and we're getting a bearish divergence. So if this was to curve down, I would definitely say on the daily. So what we're going to do is look for red candles. So let's look on the 12 hour. The 12 hour it's all right, that's flat, but still bearish divergence because price is going up and that's flat. This is also, so if I add a MACD, it's probably the same. Yeah, so the MACD, if the MACD starts, so this is coming up, and if this crosses over, that is a bearish divergence. This already looks like a bearish divergence, potentially in the making. So this is the 12 hour. So it's possible this is already almost extended. So if we have a turnover, like a turn like this, a crossover, sorry, it's definitely, it can potentially go down. So we are close and overextended to that level for the reasons I've given him before. So it might go up a bit more. I've got this yellow line for a reason. It could probably act as a resistance as well. So that's the weekly bar I was talking about. And then we got this previous, I think that was based on the wick somewhere anyway. So we are looking close to overextended on the 12 hour. So if we go to the 8 hour now, eight hours definitely has, see how that's flattened out. So that can keep going, the stochastic, but I can see this is about to cross over. See how the energy is dropping down. So very similar to this, dropping down. Even though the price is up, the momentum is dropping. If this goes below 0 or the 50%, something like that, you can see how things start dropping when it's the initiator. So once it goes below, there's some examples. Once it goes below 50%, that's the first. And then what I'll be looking at realistically, if it's the 8-hour, if this goes, I want to see this crossover negative. And then I'll look at a few other indicators to give me confirmation. And then I'll look at the red candlesticks. So if I get 2 red candlesticks, something similar to this, a bit more bearish than that, and then I'll expect a drop. So that's, we are seeing overextension. Okay, I'm new to trading. Is there anyone in this chat that would be willing to intern me to speak? Not sure what you mean by that. New to trading. If you want training, you can come to my website or come to me, and I do train people for a fee. So that's just closing the windows. So I do close. I do one-on-one trainings if you're really interested, or you can do weekly sessions. But anyway, you contact me and I can brief you what I do. So looking at this, I'm really happy the way I've been calling these things out, because so far it's been working to my plan. So I did call this out, this bump and run strategy, and it's working. It's a shame that it didn't retest. I was hoping it might retest, but what it did is retest this part here. So that was possible. So if we look at here, the price did come and retest this line, this support. So how that wick, that was the area to buy in. So I did buy in there. I had an order 42,500, and that got filled. But I was hoping the others were filled, like it will drop a bit more and I'll get the others filled. So you can't have more, but I was happy with that result. And I did speak about that in my previous stream. And if you want to have a look at, where is it? What I've been talking about, trading view, just so for those who haven't followed my posts on my channel, or on my here where I share ideas, you can see where did I do it? I said it. I think it was an update. Is that the update? That's theta. Let's see what's that on. Yeah, that was me talking about it. So, but here, okay, that's not the one. So it will be in this video. I think I gave the 3 scenarios. Oh, no, that's a bit earlier. Did I delete it? Must have deleted it. Yeah, here it is. So this was the earlier one, and I preferred to go. So this is the bump and run strategy I was talking about. Yep, and scenario 2 were played out except for this part here. So scenario 2. So if I play that forward, I did make the right call. So if I zoom in, and this is what was covered in my streaming. So you can see how it pulled back to an area to buy that wick, and so I bought some there, and I did say that there might be a pullback at this fib level, and it didn't. It just broke above it, so I didn't get that right, but I filled in there. So live on my channel, if you join my channel, you will see that updates. And because you can plan, but it doesn't always mean it's going to be static. You're just going to constantly review. So right now, I'm looking for potential pullback. So this is the maximum target, and I don't think we're going to get there straight away. I think that we're going to have this weekly resistance play out. this weekly resistance, this pocket here, and then we just come down a bit and then back up. So this one's actually a better chart here. So what that's the pocket, and then we pull back. Okay. All right. So we've covered that enough, I think. Bearish butterfly harmonic pattern on BTC 4 hour. Yep, there you go. Someone's confirming a nice harmonic is taking place. Give us a sec. Gotta get rid of, clean it up a bit. So I'm waiting for, so this is the 4 hour, no, yep, the 4 hour. So we want to see our bearish harmonic. No, that's not the way. Where would you do your, let me just close that. Haven't done harmonics for a while. So you reckon the 4 hour, this is the 4 hour. Not sure where you can see the bearish harmonic in there. Let me get my orientation right. Top, bottom, no. Same one of these. Let's see, 3.8. That can't be a harmonic. Okay, I can see one. No, I can't see how you do it. Tell the truth. Maybe you can give me a reference. All right. So looking at that shorter time period, if we add MACD in here, well, actually RSI will be good. Sometimes RSI gives us a bit of a clue. So the 4 hour, if this comes down, then definitely a bearish divergence is going to play out. Does this give us any clues at this point? No, it doesn't. Does the 1 hour give us a clue? Yeah, that's pretty bearish. But that can, yeah, it's not the best. The 4 hour. Yeah, so the thing is, this could still extend above. Yeah, so RSI is not going to really help us here. See on the daily. Okay, and if I add that wave trend, let's see. So there's still upward momentum with the wave trend. So the MACD, RSI is not going to really help, but you can see how this historically was the reason why we went bullish. That was the daily was a nice indicator that once we break this point, you can see. So you got to keep looking around for indicators to give you. So once we break that, that was a bullish candle, and once we break that trend, many months actually of a trend acting as resistance. Once we broke that, that was bullish. Now here is the reasons why. My point are pretty zoomed out, so you may not see those. Okay. So let's look at the weekly here. And here's a good point I wanted to make. Let's just hide all that. Oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't hide that. Okay. A lot of fibs there, haven't I? got a lot of noise. Okay, so here on the weekly massive chart, what you can see is a number of things. Historically, I freaked out when I saw this. From there, RSI, we found perfect support on that trend line on the RSI and a beautiful bounce. The fact that the RSI is above 50% tells us confirmation that this is bullish, because once you drop below 50%, it's a change in trend, and you can see that's basically what RSIs are used for. Besides talking about the overextension, if you pass the 50% below or above, shows you bearish or bullish. This actually played, so this is volume oscillator. This also showed that this was support, perfect support, and you can see that's gone above 50% as well, or 0%. And the final one is a Maya multiple, and you can see historically that as well. Every time it came to this level, there was a bull market. Now that was a bottom. So you can see here, this is, so three major indicators all tell us that we hit bottom, oversold, and time to go back in. And then there's all on chain data as well. So many reasons why this is bullish. Okay. Question is how you trade it. I've just gone through that. The wave 5 count. There is ever, so here we have, and you can see perfectly that we need to break this to confirm this. So I think that was the 200, is it? So that's a 21 moving average weekly. Historically, the 21 weekly moving average, see how that is? Every time we blow above it, bull run, every time we blow it is a bear market. So as soon as we lose a 21 weekly moving average, we have a significant down, and that's what happened here. We had a 21 weekly moving average. Now, until we pass that, there's no confirmation. So yeah, this is all bullish, but we need confirmation to break above it. And once we break above the 20 and the 200, so this yellow one is a 200 daily moving average, that also, you can see historically how it played its role. Once the 20 weekly and the 200 are above, it's a bear market. And that's why we need to break this to confirm that this, so this looks like, to me, this phase, sorry, a bottoming phase. And if we get rejected, then that's not good. Then we have this kind of scenario. If we get above it, then it will act like support, and then we just continue on, and then somewhere around there, and then back up. That's what I'm thinking. But it will be nice to get that confirmation. If we hit the 0.618 Fibonacci, like I said, that will do it. So if we hit here, that is confirmation in my mind that we've broken it, and if we have a daily candle closing above that level, is confirmation. Okay. Yep, we've done that pretty extensively, and now let's look at Ethereum and Bitcoin pairing. So let's load that up. So, strategy, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Let's split this up. So what I did here, so that's a weekly, and you can see how am I going to explain this? This blue line was, so if I expand this and look at it, I'll get rid of some of the moving averages. I've got people speeding like crazy outside. Let's just hide this for a sec. You can see how this trend line became support. Yeah. And we had this left shoulder. This was the neckline. we had this head, and we had the right shoulder, and we hit its target. So that was perfect. So you get that. That doesn't change it. So let's just pull that back down, and you just slowly move it. Otherwise, it loses its range. That's weird. I think that was a range. No, can't remember how I did that. It's gone beyond the target, so that's good. So it hit the fib level, more so. But we had an inverse head and shoulders here. Now the question is, uh, let's hide that. Let's get rid of some of that scribble again. So we're looking at Ethereum pairing on the macro. Now, just a theory at this point. So we had this breakout wedge, and it's pretty much hit the target. Sorry, so the inverse head and shoulders was part of it, but you can see this wedge right here was a target, and we hit it. So we had our A, B, C, D, E, and usually it goes to where B is, and that we hit that target perfectly. Now, can we use this level, left shoulder, massive head, and potentially right shoulder, and then break up? And therefore, that's what I got there. Based on this structure, that's our target. And then I looked at, I thought I better look at it from a different perspective and put a channel there. And sure enough, that was acting as resistance, support, support, initial start, support, bit of a support on the way down. So this line and this channel is perfect. So if this goes there, I think that's where we're going to get rejection. And funny enough, back to my usual routine, where is he? So 0, make that 1. It's the 618 extension. We've got the golden ratio again. So they have confluence. The other way you can do it, I suppose, is top, swing low, do that, and it equates to just above 1. So that could be a range if we were to do that. So this could be a range as well, all the way over extension. Okay, so that is possible over extension, which means like these buggers, they've overextended this channel. So that's my thinking at the moment. Ethereum is going to be outplaying Bitcoin, and I think it was like 80% more. Yeah. So if I was to get price from there to there, that's, oh sorry, 120. My initial one was 130% around there. So from that neckline, that's a theory, and there's a lot of reasons why. Now that they did the software update, which is pretty much what does it do? It burns some Ethereum for gas. That might just drive the price higher. So keep an eye on it. If we break this level, understand that that's going to be a big play. I think we're going to just do that for the time being and then break. So we had 1, 2, 3. The fourth touch, I reckon, will break out, if not the third. And that's what I'm keeping an eye on. Now, pull back to 41K region. Just right now. No, so what my pullback is, where is that chart? Oh, there you go, red starting. So this is the 8-hour, far out. Don't want to miss out. There you go. So this is going, so it's still bullish. Keep an eye on this MACD. Now what we're going to do is just add the 10-20 moving average. Okay, supporting roll, good trade. 10 every time we hit this green ribbon, which is the 10-20 moving average, we found some support. So it wouldn't surprise me that price comes down. Maybe I better fix. I wouldn't. I should fix this tool up, make it thinner. It could come down to this level, this ribbon, and then up as well. But I like the idea that if it was deeper, if it pulls down deeper to this orange line, which is this support. So that one there is 42k, or that fib level, yeah, 42k I reckon, if pull back at most. But yeah, so 40, 42 and a half, I think the most it'll probably do. If it was to come down and test this, that would be unlikely because that fib level is significant and that trend line is significant. So 42 and a half is pretty strong support, and I think it will just go up from that point onwards. So let's have a look at. For the time being, I'll use this green ribbon, and then we'll look at the MACD. There's a strategy, guys. This is a strategy to trade this. I don't know if you know the strategy, but I do teach that. Yeah, so I do online training, and I can teach you those strategies. So at this point, what I'm looking at, this is ever so bullish, right? So see how if you observe well, see how this just goes up, down, touches that trend, and then you get a bull candle, and that's pretty much saying up it goes. And similar again, this is very bullish. It's very hard to trade. This was a nice one. This is a pullback, nice green candle on the moving average. That was a good opportunity to enter. And so I'm looking for something that will do the same. So I'm thinking so you can see this yellow line, resistance, resistance, and it's acted as resistance right there and there. So it's good to draw lines because you can see where there's confluence, and we've got these moving averages and so on. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Um, where's the other ones I was after? I did have them, didn't I? This one, 200, yep, and the 21 weekly moving average. So yep, that's what I'm looking at, this area for the pullback, and then see this triangle. Maybe it'll abide this triangle and just compression and then up. Wouldn't surprise me. That's what we'll do because the top is the 21 weekly moving average. So it might, and then we've got support, strong resistance, and that compression to the upside, and that looks good to me. Every time there is resistance, you have consolidation before you go up. Sometimes in cases like this where there's a dip and then bang, just similar to here. So just as it goes up, it has that one last dip and then up. So that looks good. Thanks for the update. All right, how to rewind? Rewind. Once I'm finished the streaming, you can probably YouTube might be able to do it. Go to the YouTube channel and you can watch from the beginning. Crypto Fiji does not meet required retracements. Okay, not sure what you mean by that. Okay. At the 786 for ABD, XAB, nor does ABC retracement. Okay. So back to Ethereum. That's the macro perspective. Let's look at Ethereum itself on itself. So do I have an Ethereum chart open? Actually, this has gone way back, so not interested in that one anymore. Theta, theta is in a real good area that could go up or down, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Oh, there you go. So Dodo just broke above ever so slightly. Okay, so it did break above, and that might be retesting. Oh, that looks good, guys. That's potentially ever so close with those lines. I want to try this out. No, that doesn't work. So the log's the one that works. Keep an eye on that one, that's for sure. Get rid of that. Okay, so I don't have my Ethereum chart open. What I'll do is load Ethereum. Okay, so in my mind, Ethereum has hit the target, and that red candle is probably the beginning of it. But anyway, we'll see. So this is the 8 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour. All right, let's show another indicator. The bearish divergence, definitely. The MACD doesn't quite show it, but this does. Let me just check out another one. Okay, that's not going to help me. If I look on the daily, it's probably all bullish. So you can see the MACD is still going up on the daily. Wave trend still going up, so it's still pretty bullish on the daily. But in the short term, I think we found resistance, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a pullback. Not at this point, anyway. There's no divergence on the MACD. If anything, it's crazy, but you would think that it will come back to this 10-20 moving average. I think it will do this. Yep. Really depends on what Bitcoin does, but I think that's what it's going to do. It's got to. Why do I think that at the moment? All right, let's have a look at Ethereum in a proper perspective. Ethereum USDT. Go to the weekly. So where do I draw that line? Okay, so the fib levels. Right, it's hit a fib level. There you go. But there's nothing on the weekly that tells me that's resistance. So it has to be the daily there. Where do I get that red line from? Ah, okay. The wicks from here. So what do we have? Would get rid of this for a sec. So what I've done, it's pretty clear that there was a structure in place, and once we break that structure, so yeah, again, yep, we had a bit of a consolidation. So this is pretty much that. So from B to A, from B to C, it could be, what do you include? You can include the wick, or you include the body. It's very hard to know precisely, but that was the target. Okay, so I think that's close enough. But if I use the 8 hour, it will be very different. So structurally, that's the target. However, when we use this Fibonacci from bottom to top, let's see that. That's got confluence there. And the other fib level I want to look at, and if I've done that, bottom to top, and Ethereum has broken that as well. So structurally, that's the target. I think it's, but you can see how these wicks apply. Where is it here? These wicks could play a role, but that's the body of the candle. So I think that's where it's still got more to go up. I think, and it's going for confluence with the structural target. So Ethereum's got 3,250 is what I'm thinking of. If you can send your link, if you're saying there's a crab harmonic, show us, send us a link, a copy of your chart, and then we can have a look. Okay, so Ethereum is, as you can see, the weekly is up. The daily, let's look at the daily here. Oh, that is daily. Okay. Let's look at the 4 hourly. So the 4 hourly, okay. So let's have a look at these guys. We have a trend, and I'm going to see if that's going to make a difference. So if we break that, then we might drop just a little, not much. I'll just do that. So which I do see we have extended, but there's a lot of things that are still looking good. Yeah, so we've got a crossover here. No. So we've got a crossover here. This is not good. So that's pretty much a rejection on the 4 hour. So we've got a crossover. I'll show you this. That's the first sign. Second one is that this is below. It's coming up, but so now if this goes up and gets another rejection, then that's definitely going to go down. So I think we're overextended, and we might have a little bit more to go. Yeah, but this is telling me there's downward pressure, and really depends on this yellow section if it turns and goes down more. So it really depends on the candlesticks, right? Here you've got one red, one slightly bearish, one undetermined, and it's got another 3 hours. So this will tell us roughly, the candlesticks will roughly tell us, I think it will do something like this in the short term. So yeah, I will still hold my Ethereum. It's doing good against Bitcoin. So if we look at this short term, 1 hour. Okay. Very, very ugly chart towards the top. There is nothing I can really use as a gauge. So that was overperformance. That was really nice. So you can look at this. So from the bottom to the top, that doesn't help. So the other one is the fib level. Bottom to the top. Okay, so we have hit a fib level there. There's rejection. If I was to use the top there, that doesn't make sense. So that's the one I'll use. And we'll get this other chart, fib level. Okay, that's a big picture. Okay. So the 0.382 on the macro is pretty much playing the role. Let's just get rid of that. So on the big picture, that's playing the role, and that's playing, yeah. So the 0.382 macro, yeah, there you go. The fib extension there is playing the resistance at the moment. So if we break that, then we go to the next level, which is up there. All right, that's Ethereum. Let's look at ADA against Ethereum. So via ADA, you're probably a bit sad. I got rid of my ADA once I saw this chart. Once I saw we're losing that top, I just said, yep, time to get rid of ADA. And I swapped it for Ethereum, which Binance has. You can swap it over. In terms of what's happening now, there is a bullish divergence. You can see that's building up. So this could bounce high. But why there? Not sure. Maybe if it gets down to hits this one, then we'll get that pull bounce. Yeah, so no rush jumping in there, but there is a bullish divergence playing up. So if I was to add the RSI, which sometimes makes it easier to see. Yeah, you can see that on the 1 hourly. You can see how this is. There's a bullish divergence in the making, and that could be a good bounce. So ADA's probably doing something that's, well, Ethereum is pretty much at a resistance, so ADA must be doing something that's about to break from. So let's look at ADA. Okay, so maybe ADA's about to break out of there. So let's watch this one. This is the 1 hourly chart. Breakout trade looks like it's happening. Yeah, that looks like a breakout trade. So if I look at them, I'll just add MACD just to see. Not there yet, no. So that's 1 hour. That's not going to help. Let me just add that. Okay. So it's clear where so there was a fake out, pull back, but the line is pretty clear for the breakout trade. The MACD is trying to turn around, so we have a bullish. It's not bullish divergence, but you can see that sort of plays out there. Let's look at a different time frame, 4 hour. Okay. Candlesticks don't tell us much. Let me add one more indicator. Okay, so this is bullish because you see how this has come up almost above 50%. So if this goes above 50%, this goes up, that means there's a bullish candle. So this looks like support, resistance, and we pretty much swirling there and then potentially up or down. And if we look at a 5-minute chart, let's see if there's anything bullish. Okay, whoops, I should have done that. So we have, yeah, so you can see that's like a triangle, ascending triangle really. that can be the signal. So let's just count that. A, B, C, D, and E could be anywhere there. So that looks like it's about to break. It's building up, and you can see historically some of that works. That was a good time to trade in there. There was a nice opportunity there. And what I just did there is pretty much what I'm doing here now. So these formations work. All these, if you watch them, opportunities to trade. This one's not so easy, but that is a continuation pattern as well. And what you got to do, look for is key support levels. So this one was a beautiful trade, but who was to know that was going to break down? You got constant support, and this is just pretty much another one. So there's a bit of a rhythm there. And going back, that is a that is a weird chart. Like you get a spike and then you go down, and then that's weird. But you can see here, resistance, 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 hello, resistance. So until it breaks down, I'm not interested. There could be a, what's this? This is a 4. Yeah, you can see it on the 8-hour. It's not the steepest move, but it's grinding. And this is bullish on the 8-hour. On the daily, yeah, definitely bullish on the daily. What's it done here? So the MACD's going up on the daily. It's like it's gone above 0, and the MACD is widening. So this, and even this, we've got a crossover with these moving averages. So there's a lot of momentum. So ADA looks like it's going to break that level, and I think it's going to fly once it breaks that level. And that sort of explains the ADA Ethereum scenario. So if I go to ADA Ethereum, probably a good time too. So yeah, okay, so that's the daily. Not there yet. I'd like to see that. So there's a bullish divergence in the making. Let's look at the 12-hour. Yeah, not there yet. 4-hour, is any signal? Yeah, the 4-hour is the only one that's giving us a bit of an idea that's turning. But is it enough? Well, this is above, and this is crossed over, so I think it's too early. I'd like to see it break this 20 moving average. If it breaks that, I think it will keep going, and that's the break that you want for ADA, and I think that will mean it just goes up against Ethereum. All right, well, I'm looking at the time. I might take a break, guys, and I can't pause this unfortunately. If I have time tonight, I'll continue on. But if you've got any questions, please raise them. But I'm looking to come back and do the charts. If you're interested, let me know. And if you've got any questions, want me to cover anything, let me know now. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. everything slowed down there, hasn't it? So let's just open the chart. What's my Ren doing? Okay, so Ren, bit of a pullback. I did sell, lucky I did that. But it's got a nice formation there, and I think it's going to continue on. Anyway, so that was my clue, that formation when it broke out of it, that was the signal to jump in. Nice triangle shape, breakout, hit the target. Now, I think you might do a big macro formation before it goes up to the upside. Let's look at, actually, here we go. Where is it? That one there. Okay. So that's the 4 hour. We're getting a red candle, right? Let's split this. Total market cap. Beautiful on the weekly. And on the daily, oh, it's past a key area. So total market cap is looking good. Beautiful. So that's also bullish. And that's got the same stuff that I can't use that. Should I just copy all this across? No. So on the daily, I can see that total market cap, everything is upwards. It might be a bit overextended, but that's okay. Yeah, so that total market cap is looking good. The weekly was better, wasn't it? That's why things have probably slowed down a bit. Let's hit a fib. So you can see there's a few reds, a few greens. Oh, far out. So what's moved? Cream, hot. Oh, come on, not hot again. Surely not. That's the one I had before. Oh, it has. Yeah, bugger. I missed that. I missed that breakout, far out. Ah, sucks. Just recently too. Ah, bugger. So hot. So these are my targets. I missed the entrance. Yeah. And when that happened. So look at that formation. If you don't keep an eye on it, you miss these opportunities. So this candle was it. That was the signal to go in on the 1 hour. Beautiful, beautiful bullish candle. Bang, and then up. 15% move. All right. Oh well, can't get them all. All right, so I got. Let's see what Ray does. Ray Perp. Okay. Ray's undecided at the moment. but that looks like a potential opportunity as well. All right, so that is a breakout trade if you're looking for one, potentially to the apex. So Ray can go really nice. So there's a few good moves here. There's a few good. So it's a good trend. That is actually a good trend. So let's go to the 4 hour. What's the MACD doing? Okay. MACD is all right, but it's a bit bearish there. Bearish divergence. It's playing out. And I've got this. Yeah, so we've got to see a green candle break up. All right, guys. If you want me to continue, let me know later on. But I'm going to call a wrap. How long have I been online? When did I start? It's an hour ago. So 1 hour. It's been an hour. I don't want to go too long. But later on, a few hours from now, I'll come back online. Come and join me, and we'll continue doing this. I'll look at a few more charts and look for opportunities. Anyway, thanks again for joining. If you've got any questions for my next session, just post them here, and I'll try to get back to you. All right, thank you. I'll talk to you later. Cheers.